The winter meetings in Orlando, Florida, delivered a verdict that echoed through baseball history. Jeff Kent is headed to Cooperstown, a moment that marks the culmination of years of debate and anticipation. For Kent, this is more than just an individual honor. It's a validation of a career built on grit, determination, and a relentless drive to prove doubters wrong. But while Kent's name will soon be etched among the legends, Barrybonds remains on the outside, his legacy still clouded by controversy and unresolved questions. The 16-member Contemporary Era Committee cast its votes, and Kent finally received the long-awaited validation that had eluded him for years, a testament to his impact on the game and the respect he earned from his peers. Yet, the joy of Kent's election was immediately juxtaposed with the sting of rejection for his more famous and infamous teammate. The contrast between their fates could not be more stark. Barry Bonds, the greatest home run hitter of all time, was snubbed again, his path to baseball immortality seemingly blocked for good. Despite his record-shattering achievements, the shadow of the steroid era continues to loom large over his candidacy. This outcome creates a complex narrative. Two giants, once the most fearsome duo in baseball, now separated by the moral judgment of Hall of Fame voters. Their partnership electrified San Francisco, but their legacies have taken dramatically different paths. Kent, the gritty second baseman, is deemed worthy, his blue-collar approach and consistent production finally earning him a place among the game's immortals. Bonds, a player of mythical talent, remains an outcast. His accomplishments, once celebrated, are now viewed through a lens of suspicion and debate. The decision highlights baseball's ongoing struggle to reconcile the steroid era with its traditions. The sport continues to wrestle with how to honor greatness while upholding its values. For Giants fans, the day brought pride for Kent, a player who embodied perseverance and heart, and whose journey to the Hall inspires hope for overlooked stars. But it also brought disappointment for Bonds, the homegrown superstar denied once more, leaving his supporters to wonder if his day will ever come. The story is no longer just about numbers, it's about character, integrity, and the evolving definition of a Hall of Famer. The Hall's choices reflect not just statistics, but the values it wishes to uphold. Kent's journey ends in triumph, his perseverance rewarded, his legacy secure in the game's most hallowed hall. Bonds in a dead end, his greatness overshadowed by controversy, his story left unresolved. The Hall of Fame has made its choice, separating two teammates for eternity, a decision that will be debated for generations to come. Jeff Kent was never the flashiest player on the field, nor did he seek the spotlight with dramatic gestures or headline-grabbing antics. Instead, he let his game do the talking, quietly building a reputation as one of the most consistent and determined competitors of his era. With a swing built for driving in runs, Kent was relentless at the plate, always looking for ways to help his team win. His approach was methodical, his focus unwavering, and his results spoke volumes about his work ethic and talent. After 10 long years on the BBWAA ballot, Kent's Hall of Fame hopes seemed to be fading. But the Contemporary Era Committee finally recognized his impact, giving him the call that had eluded him for so long, a moment that brought both relief and joy to his supporters. Kent's offensive production didn't just set records, it redefined what was possible for a second baseman. He finished his career as the all-time leader in home runs at the position, shattering expectations for what a middle infielder could achieve with the bat. His MVP season in 2000, when he batted .334 with 33 home runs and 125 RBIs, was a masterclass in offensive excellence. That year, Kent was the engine that powered the Giants, earning respect from teammates and opponents alike and cementing his legacy as one of the game's greats. For the Giants organization and their fans, Kent's election is a massive moment, one that validates a crucial era in franchise history. His presence in the lineup helped define a generation of Giants baseball, and his induction is a point of pride for the entire city. The controversial trade that brought Kent to San Francisco, once criticized by many, is now seen in a new light. What was once panned as a risky move has been vindicated by his Hall of Fame career. Kent himself credits manager Dusty Baker for pushing him to become a more complete player, challenging him to improve not just offensively, but defensively and as a leader in the clubhouse. Former teammates like JT Snow and Rich Aurelia have called the election long overdue, praising Kent's underappreciated defense, his relentless drive, and the way he elevated everyone around him with his intensity and commitment. Kent demanded excellence from himself and those around him, never settling for less than the best effort, whether in practice or in the heat of a pennant race. Now, that same drive and determination have carried him to baseball's most exclusive club, where only the legends reside. His Hall of Fame plaque stands as proof that consistency, grit, and a relentless pursuit of greatness can lead to immortality in the sport. For the Giants, it's a celebration of a cornerstone player who helped shape the team's identity and inspired a generation of fans. And for Jeff Kent, it's the ultimate validation, a fitting reward for a career defined by hard work, resilience, and a passion for the game that never wavered. While Kent celebrated his own triumphs on the field, another story was unfolding in the shadows. Barry Bonds, despite his legendary career, faced a familiar and painful reality. The Hall of Fame doors remain firmly shut to him, year after year. Bonds' statistical case is simply unmatched. He's the all-time leader in home runs, walks, and intentional walks, with 7 MVP awards and a record-setting WAR that few can even approach. In his youth, he was a true five-tool player, dazzling fans with his speed, power, and defensive brilliance. Over time, Bonds became the most feared hitter in the game, so dominant that pitchers often chose to walk him rather than risk a home run. His 2004 season, with a staggering .609 on-base percentage, remains one of the most legendary and unthinkable achievements in baseball history. Yet, for all his records and accolades, none of it has mattered to Hall of Fame voters, who have consistently looked past his numbers. Bonds reportedly received fewer than 5 votes from the committee, a resounding and unmistakable denial of his place among the game's immortals. The Hall of Fame is more than just a museum of stats. It's a shrine fiercely guarded by gatekeepers who weigh not only performance, but also character and legacy. For Bonds, the continued exile is a stark and personal reminder of that reality, no matter how great his achievements. Each year, the debate rages on. Analysts, fans, and former players argue his case, but each year, the result is the same: exclusion. Bonds' journey, once a foregone conclusion for baseball immortality, now appears permanently blocked by an unbreakable barrier. The game's most dominant player remains an outcast, his legacy forever debated, his greatness undeniable, but his place in the Hall of Fame still out of reach. Barry Bonds' exclusion boils down to one word: steroids. His career is linked to the Balco scandal and performance-enhancing drugs, casting a permanent shadow over his achievements. The Hall's character clause has been the barrier, with many voters seeing Bonds' connection to PEDs as an unforgivable breach. Evidence, though circumstantial, has been enough for most to reject him. The controversy has split. Baseball purists argue cheaters should be barred, while others say the Hall should tell the full story of the game. Bonds' impact is undeniable, but so is the stain of the era. His absence is both a punishment and a reflection of baseball's struggle with its own history. On the field, Bonds and Kent were baseball's most devastating tandem, powering the Giants to 4 playoff appearances and a World Series. Their chemistry in the lineup was undeniable. Off the field, their relationship was famously frosty. They clashed, coexisted, and pushed each other to greatness. But friendship was never part of the equation. Kent has acknowledged Bonds' impact, crediting him for motivation and opportunity. He's called Bonds the best player he's ever seen, recognizing the discipline and talent that made him a legend. Kent remains diplomatic about Bonds' Hall exclusion, declining to judge. Teammate Rich Aurelia believes both deserve enshrinement based on their careers. Their story proves that personal friendship isn't required for professional greatness. They were rivals and partners, each elevating the other. Now, their legacies are forever intertwined and divided. Jeff Kent's election brought joy and relief to former Giants teammates and management. J.T. Snow and Rich Aurelia praised Kent's underappreciated defense and relentless competitiveness. Bill Mueller highlighted Kent's work ethic and intensity. For these teammates, Kent's plaque validates the tough, gritty brand of baseball they played. Giants president Larry Baer called the news spectacular, celebrating a key figure from a golden era. Yet Baer also expressed disappointment over Bonds' continued exclusion, reaffirming the organization's support. In his moment of triumph, Kent thanked manager Dusty Baker for pushing him to be better. Baker's ability to manage strong personalities was crucial to the team's success. The voices of teammates, management, and Kent himself paint a picture of a player who was the fiery heart of a winning machine. Now, Kent is officially an immortal. The era he helped define is forever enshrined. The decision to elect Kent and reject Bonds ignited fierce debate across the baseball world. Kent's supporters cheered long overdue recognition for his consistent excellence. Bonds' snub, especially in the Bay Area, sparked anger and frustration. Many see the Hall as incomplete without him. Experts remain divided. Some praise the committee for upholding integrity, while others argue the Hall should be a historical record, not a moral tribunal. The near-unanimous rejection of Bonds and Clemens is seen by some as a final verdict on the steroid era. Others believe Bonds' exclusion diminishes the Hall's credibility. The split decision ensures the debate will rage on. This year's rejection was likely the final nail in the coffin for Bonds' Hall of Fame hopes. A new rule disqualifies candidates who receive fewer than 5 votes from future ballots. Bonds, along with Clemens, failed to reach that threshold, ending any realistic path to Cooperstown. The annual debate is now over. There's no formal mechanism for reconsideration. The Giants, who have long supported Bonds, must accept this finality. His records remain, but his plaque will not hang in Cooperstown. For the all-time home run king, it's a stunning fall from grace. Bonds is officially and permanently exiled from baseball's most sacred institution. Kent's election, alongside Bonds' final rejection, sends a clear message about what baseball values. Kent's induction honors sustained excellence and grit, not just superstar peaks. His plaque inspires players who excel through determination, not just talent. Bonds' exclusion draws a firm line on the steroid era. No amount of achievement erases the stain of PEDs. The Hall's stance is now clear. The character clause is a mandate, not a suggestion. This outcome will shape Hall debates for decades, especially for players with even faint PED links. The Hall is curating its story, highlighting clean players like Kent while omitting its most dominant star. The legacy is one of division. 2 teammates, 2 starkly different narratives. Kent is celebrated as the greatest home run hitting second baseman. Bonds remains a ghost in the record books. The Hall has made its choice, defining how baseball's story will be told.